Yo! ¿Qué pasó, mi gente? Welcome to the Forever Grind Show. This is your host, El Daviso. Happy Monday morning, everybody. Hope you had that caffeine kick. Hopefully you're driving to work safely today, or if you're listening to this podcast show. Wow, what a comeback. Did y'all see what happened last night? Did y'all see that? What a week one to Football Sunday. It didn't disappoint. Not at all. Not in my eyes. I mean, what a comeback. I couldn't believe it. It was a beatdown if you saw that game last night. The Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. I'm still not over it. Like, week one, you cannot make this up. Thursday night football, Friday night football, Sunday night football. They all live to the hype. My goodness. In 4 minutes, Josh Allen and the Bills overcome a 15-point deficit for the win. Mind you, in the last 4 minutes, crunch time. I'm still not over it. They do that in the final 4 minutes. The Buffalo Bills gained momentum and took advantage of Derrick Henry's fumble. Let me tell you something. This game was reminiscent to week 4 of last year, 2024. The beatdown that the Bills suffered against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. How about that? Then in the playoffs, in the divisional round, the Bills will get their revenge. But wow. The Ravens had this game won 40-25. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson was dominating this game. Dominating. Like, it wasn't even fair. Some of the fans took off because they were live in the stadium. They just took off. They couldn't handle it. And I don't blame them. That was a big-time beatdown. 40-25. I'm pretty sure some people just tuned out of watching that game. People already thought it was over. I almost tuned out, but I still wanted to watch, just in case. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson was destroying everybody. Derrick Henry, 18 carries for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson ran the ball for 70 yards 6 times. 1 rushing touchdown. Forgive me, I'm reading my stats. I had to come prepared. This is how big this game was. I want to get everything right. 1 rushing touchdown, 14 for 19 passes, 209 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Lamar, if you saw that game last night, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry were just destroying everybody. It almost didn't seem fair. It was already foreshadowing the whole rest of the season. Who was going to stop these guys? The Bills couldn't stop them. Not until the end. But let me tell you something. The Ravens lost this game. I don't want to take anything away from the Buffalo Bills. There's a lot to mention about the Buffalo Bills. They were struggling that whole game until that fumble. In total, Josh Allen threw 33 for 46 of his passes, 394 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. James Cook, 13 rushes, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Keon Coleman, 8 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. The stats. that fumble was the turnaround for everything for that game. It gave the Bills momentum. The Bills took advantage. Derrick Henry, it's every year he does this. He dominates. Let me tell you something. And you tell me if you agree or not in the comments. You let me know. Let's talk about this. This is my take on this. This is not on Derrick Henry. I'm telling you right now. This is not on Derrick Henry. This was a coaching problem. When someone is that dominant for the majority of the game, you have to rest that player. If not the first or second play of the fourth quarter. Coach Harbaugh should have sat down Derrick Henry and rested Derrick Henry. This is not on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry did his job. He produced. He destroyed people. Coach Harbaugh should have rested Derrick Henry at least one or two plays within the fourth quarter, if not the whole quarter. I understand it was 40-32. But your backup would have contributed enough to seal that win. The Ravens had the game won. Props for the Buffalo Bills for the comeback. But the Ravens lost this game. I refuse to put the blame on Derrick Henry. He doesn't deserve that at all. And yeah, he seemed disappointed. He felt he had to take the blame. I disagree. I honestly felt this was on Coach Harbaugh. He needed to chill. He did his job. You could have sealed the win by putting your back up right the rest of this game. It was dominant. But only the Ravens can beat themselves. Unfortunately, that's what it looked like in the divisional playoff game last year. They beat themselves again against the Buffalo Bills. It was scary to watch how dominant the Ravens were. I couldn't think of any team that could possibly stop that Ravens offense. If Derrick Henry needed a break, Lamar Jackson was going to go for it. If they couldn't rush anymore, they're going to throw the ball. It was that dominant. The Bills had no answers other than just not to give up and keep on playing. But I refuse to accept the fact that Derrick Henry needs to take the blame for this loss. It is not on him. I'm sorry. If you want to debate it, comment down below. But it is not his fault. This was an error in coaching. Should have sat him down, let him rest in the fourth quarter. That was a lot that he ran. He did his job. It was very disappointing to see that. And now we know the only team that can beat the Baltimore Ravens is the Baltimore Ravens. They better figure it out quick. Like I've been saying, it's only week 1. A lot of football left. But let me tell you something. Because of that comeback, this game did not disappoint. Excitement everywhere. From the first drive to the last play of the game. It's been complimentary football. And for the Baltimore Ravens fans, I can only imagine how you feel. Matter of fact, I do know how you feel. A lot of people would say back in the day, that's the most chargiest way to lose a football game. Unfortunately, they beat themselves. We have week 2. We have week 3. We have until the end of the season to see what the Baltimore Ravens can learn. This is a tough loss. Only imagine if they had this loss in Baltimore. My goodness. But we still have a lot to talk about. That wasn't the only game. I'm going to get to one game in particular in a second. I do want to highlight a couple of underrated teams that play. Well, the one team that played yesterday. I didn't see it coming. Some people did. I didn't. And that's the Indianapolis Colts. My goodness. First off, Miami, I think it's tanking season. I might be overreacting, and if I am, let me know. But I think this should be the last year of Mike McDaniels. It's time to move on. It's not your year. Matter of fact, I don't think it ever has been. Nothing's funny about losing that game. The Colts scored on every possession of that game 7 drives straight. I got to give props to Daniel Jones. 7 drives led the Colts to a victory. No QB has ever done that this century. 33-8. 7. Well, for all you gamblers out there that know the phrase, Miami Dolphins PSO'd. 0.7 out. But props to Daniel Jones. I underestimate him. I doubted him a lot. I didn't see that in him. Matter of fact, I didn't see the Colts going anywhere at all this year. After seeing Houston against LA Rams, I don't know. There's a lot of football left. But I wanted to give them their flowers. I think they deserve it. Now, one game I really want to talk about, which I believe to be the third best game in week 1. I can't fully say that yet because we still have Monday Night Football tonight. The Vikings playing against the Bears. Divisional rivalry game. We're going to check that out tonight. But yesterday, the Steelers and Jets, talk about all the narratives are within those two franchises. 34-32. Complimentary football. In my opinion, that was the third best game of the week. Ravens and Bills was my number 1. Chiefs and Chargers was my number 2. Steelers and Jets was my number 3. Complimentary football shootout going back and forth. And that was a game that Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers had a lot to prove. Ironically, they both played for each other's franchises. But man, seeing Aaron Rodgers playing like how he used to play, a little bit slower, but he pulled through. Seeing Justin Fields, seeing how he used to play. We saw Justin Fields in Ohio State form. It was incredible to watch. honestly, if you ask me, I think the Jets are done looking. They have their number one starting quarterback in Justin Fields. I honestly think he could produce a lot in that franchise. I think they have their quarterback. He proved that yesterday. But welcome back, Aaron Rodgers. Let me read this to you. 22 for 30 passing attempts, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers hasn't had a week 1 victory since September 11th of 2022, and he was playing for Green Bay. He was playing for the Packers, and he was the reigning MVP. I believe he had won his 4th one, making him the first player behind Peyton Manning to win more than 3 MVPs. And when he did that, he defeated the Minnesota Vikings 23-7. Week 1, 2022. I mean, the last time he threw for 4 touchdowns was actually this year against Miami. January 5th, 2025. He went down slinging. And he completed a record that day, too. Throwing for 500 regular season touchdowns. Big milestone right there. And let's not forget, when he did that yesterday, throwing for 4 touchdowns, he's 41 years old. He's looking the age. Does he still got it? Well, he had it yesterday. But again, yesterday was only week 1. There's a lot to prove. There's a lot to show. It's overreaction Monday. Everybody's going to start talking. Everybody's going to react of what we saw yesterday. Of what we've been seeing week 1. Recency bias, overreaction, prisoner of the moments. But man, did he show up. It was beautiful to watch. And the things that happened in that game to seal that type of win, anything happened. The highlight plays, as I like to call them. Chris Boswell hits a 60-yard field goal, breaking his own record. I think it was 54 yards. I don't remember, but I know he broke his own record. Kenneth Gainwell forcing the fumble on a kick return covered by Ben Skowronek. I apologize for mispronouncing that name. That's not my intention. But everybody in the league has interesting names. A crazy deflected pass by DK Metcalf. It looked like that Julian Edelman catch that he caught against the Falcons in that one Super Bowl. I think it was Super Bowl 52. 52 or 51, one of those two. And of course, the play made by Jalen Ramsey that sealed the game win. I mean, TJ Watt made some plays. The defense, I would say, is a little suspect. They did allow 32 points, but they did come in when they needed them the most. Jalen Ramsey sealed that deal. which means he still got it. But can they keep up the momentum for week 2? Can they keep this momentum going for the rest of the season? Because a lot of people are doubting them. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have it anymore. Aaron Rodgers is too old. He's damaged goods. A lot of people didn't pick him to win that game yesterday. I did. I picked him to win that game. Maybe not by that score. I definitely didn't see Aaron Rodgers throwing for 4 touchdowns. But I think he still got it. Here's the thing. Let me touch on this for a second. A lot of people bash on Aaron Rodgers because of how he did with the Jets. This is my take on this. And I'm not trying to defend or justify Aaron Rodgers. Matter of fact, I don't think he'll be the reason if the Steelers make it to the playoffs. I've always known that Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season. He's won with mediocre quarterbacks. Don't mean to be harsh, but that's how it looked like. This is the problem that happened with Aaron Rodgers. Before the year he was, I think, traded to the Jets. Even prior to the Jets, people were suspecting he might have gone to the Steelers. You know that back in the day, he was kind of like, they had this little flirtation going on between Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers. But that year, that's when he went to the Jets. Let me tell you something. Aaron Rodgers suffers an Achilles torn Achilles tendon. 3 plays in, I believe. The first game of the season. Back in 2023. Out for the season. Comes back the next season, plays the whole season. You're not the same after an Achilles tendon tear. We've seen it in football. We've seen it in basketball. You're not the same. And granted, it was also such a bad situation with the New York Jets. Robert Saleh got fired within the season. There was no leadership over there. There was still drama going on. Aaron Rodgers was trying to get Davante Adams into the Jets. There was a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of mismatch. It just didn't work out. It wasn't the right situation for Aaron Rodgers. But I think being with the Steelers is the right situation. And I'll tell you why. There is consistency. Let me tell you again, Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season. Aaron Rodgers needed change. Could he have been the problem? Sure. He's a diva. I'm going to say that right now. He's the male version of Kim Kardashian. Or any Kardashian. Not to throw shots. But I think there needed to be changes everywhere. With the Jets organization, with Aaron Rodgers, with the Steelers organization. Change is always good because change brings consistency. You can't be consistent if the old is not working. I'm going to repeat that. You can't have consistency when change doesn't happen. The New York Jets have Justin Fields. He is good for them. Aaron Rodgers is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who knows what will happen next year? If they go this far, if they go far at all, if they miraculously happen to have a playoff win, does Aaron Rodgers come back? Does he retire? Does Mike Tomlin come back? Or does he retire? Or does he go to another team? There's a lot to be seen this upcoming season. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to witness. A lot of narratives are out there. And that's what we're talking about it. That's why we're here. We're here to witness it all. And we could draw our own conclusion, and we could talk about it. We could debate about it. We could agree and disagree. But there's a lot of writing in the Steelers organization. I'm confident that they'll have a winning season. I'm not too confident that they'll be in the playoffs. The way Baltimore and Buffalo just played, the way the Chargers are up and coming, the way the Cincinnati Bengals played, the way the Las Vegas Raiders played. There's a lot of teams in the AFC up and coming. It's going to be a battle in the AFC. Everybody's going to be beating each other up. The Kansas City Chiefs, have they lost their identity? Because they're not the same. Matter of fact, they don't look scary at all. Not like before. Leave that to the Baltimore Ravens. I know they're going to come back. They're going to learn from this. Some might think, well, they should have learned in the divisional playoff. I think so too. But they're going to take this to heart. They're going to come back next week. And they're going to unleash hell. This is the beauty of week 1. Because all the narratives out there. And it's just begun. We have one more game tomorrow. The debut of J.J. McCarthy. The debut of Ben Johnson. Speaking of Ben Johnson, I'll make this fast. The Lions are just not the same without Ben Johnson. They're just not. It was sad to watch. Hell, a buddy of mine sent me a meme of Rob Schneider saying, "We suck again." It was sad to watch that. It really was. But you know what? That's what we're here in this channel to do. We're here to talk about it. We're here to be about it. I can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. There's a lot I haven't said yet. I'll be saying it throughout the week. I'll be talking about college ball as well. It was just so overwhelming with NFL. We just don't have enough time, but we will tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in on the Forever Grind Show. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your Monday. Let's get Monday over with today. Love y'all. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Love you guys. Peace.